On the first Friday of August, so it's time for my Magic for the Month talk. I'm just going to wait a little while before I start my talk to allow a few people to join in. I'm just going to see who's joining us at the moment. There's always a bit of a lag, so I start to see who's here a little bit after people actually join. Hello, I can see there's people starting to join. I'm just going to start in a moment. It does stay live on Facebook, or rather it does stay on Facebook. The video stays on Facebook, so if you miss the talk the first time round, you can watch it later. Okay, I can see there's people joining, so I'm going to start the introduction soon. Right, now I'm Lucya Starza. I write a Bad Witches blog, and I've written a few Pagan Portals titles for Moon Books, which I will just show you. There's Pagan Portals Candle Magic, Pagan Portals Poppets and Magical Dolls, down. Pagan Portals Scrying, that's due out in a few months, and Pagan Portals Guided Visualizations, and the community book I edited, Everyday Magic. Now, I'm sure everyone who's watching knows a little bit about the Harvest Festival of Lammas, so I will be talking a little bit about that, but I'll also be talking about some other August folklore and magic, including holidays and cats. This talk should take about 25 to 30 minutes all told. Now, until pretty recently, August was all about the harvest for most people in Britain. In the book Stations of the Sun, Professor Ronald Hutton wrote, in pre-industrial British society, the cereal harvest, whether of wheat, oats, barley or rye, represented the most important and most concentrated period of labour in the entire year, and it was carried on throughout the month of August. But for most of us these days, unless we work in agriculture, August is often more about holidays. And mind you, harvests and holidays are actually connected because the school holidays were originally set in August so children could help with the harvest, and they stayed at that time, and many families can really only go away in August. August is also often the warmest month of the year, and even though the daylight hours are slowly kind of decreasing, the month is actually very warm and sunny. So the magic of August now both celebrates the harvest and the joys of getting away from work, spending time outdoors in nature or by the coast, and enjoying the sunshine at the end of summer. But first, a little bit about Lammas. Now, the festival of the first fruits is often called Lammas in England, and it was once the time for summer fairs where workers were hired to bring in the harvest. I mean, we do get plenty of summer fairs too, but they're not usually hiring fairs. The word of Lammas might come from the Christian loaf mass, in which loaves were baked from the first grains and they were blessed. These days, Lammas is often used as the name for the pagan Wheel of the Year festival on August the 1st because, well, you know, pagans eat bread too. Some prefer to call the festival Lunasa, after the Irish god Lugh. I don't know whether you can hear that. There's a car bleeping like crazy just outside, and I've got the window open at the moment. So if that's really annoying and you can hear it, I do apologise. Anyway, according to Professor Ronald Hutton, the name Lunasa is a traditional one in ancient Irish literature for the festival at the start of August, although he wrote, it's by no means obvious why this one should be associated with Lugh, who was neither apparently a god of the harvest nor of the sun. Lugh is a god of many skills, and Lunasa actually remembers the funeral Lugh held for his foster mother, Teltway, who legends say died after clearing Ireland's plains for agriculture. Cereal crops are of course used to bake bread and brew ale, and both are celebrated this time of year, and I will be enjoying some ale later on this evening. Now, corn dollies. Corn dollies, sometimes called kern babies or corn mothers, and there's a few other names for them as well, are one of the crafts associated with harvest time. And they're made from stalks of wheat or other grain, or even straws or grasses. Actually, they're not that often made from corn in England. It's more usually wheat. Traditions about them vary quite a bit from area to area. In some places, the first sheaf of wheat was baked into bread. In others, it was made into a dolly, which was burnt as a symbolic offering of the first of the harvests, thanks to the fields. Corn dollies are also made at the end of the harvest, and according to legends, the spirit of the corn lives on among the crop, but it's made homeless at the end of the harvest. And James Fraser wrote in The Golden Bough that often the last sheaf of the harvest was made into a corn dolly, and it would have a hollow enclosure for the grain spirit to live in during the winter. And then in the spring, the corn dolly would be ploughed into the first furrow of the field to return the spirit to the land. Now, obviously, Fraser's not that reliable a source of history, but the legend lingers on. Some corn dollies do actually look like human-shaped dolls, but often they're more stylized, like this one. This one is you can see it's got a hollow enclosure in the middle. It doesn't really, I suppose you could say that's the head and that's the body and that's the legs, but a lot of them don't really look like people. They're very stylized. I didn't actually make this one myself, I should say. It's one of a set of corn dollies that have been passed down through my family, and I know they're at least 60 years old. They could well be older. They were given to me by my granddad when I was a kid. And they're not going to get ploughed into any fields. They just get brought out every year as seasonal decorations, and they've lasted pretty well. Now, another type of corn dolly is known as a countryman's favour or a lover's knot, and they were often given as love tokens at harvest time. And they're often much simpler to make. The very easiest is just a plait of grain stalks tied into a loop with a bit of ribbon. That one doesn't have ribbon. Um, Corn dollies can be made with long, thick strands of grass from your garden, or with craft straws if you don't have wheat or corn. I made that one myself about 10 years ago. As you see, it's kind of starting to fall to pieces a little bit. It's another one that gets brought out as a seasonal decoration, but it hasn't lasted as well as the older one. Now, in parts of Scotland and in some Scandinavian countries, straw dogs are made, known as biko. Excuse me if I pronounce it wrong. That's spelt Biko. And they're made as booby prizes given to the last farmer to bring in the crops. And the straw dog is traditionally made from the last sheaf or from straw and secretly attached to the roof of the slowest farmer's house during the night, usually by fellow farmers. And it's considered a sign of bad luck rather than a favour. Now, I've got here, I don't know whether you can see that on my Kindle, a picture of a straw dog that I saw in a barn in Orkney. It was kind of on display. I hope you can see that okay. Just scrolling through my notes. I do have to have notes because I can't remember everything I'm supposed to say. Now, modern urban pagans might not have grain to harvest, but we can celebrate any vegetables or flowers we've grown in our gardens. And I have a lot of lavender growing in mine. You might see some on my shelf behind me on my altar. You can make lavender favours or lavender wands instead of corn dollies. And you can also make lavender herb bundles to use for smoke cleansing. Now on my, if I scroll a bit further on, there we go. There we have a lavender favour, which I made a few years ago. That's actually a lavender and hop favour, which I made for a friend to help them get a good night's sleep. And you kind of make them by enclosing the head of the lavender inside a little kind of basket of the stalks by turning the stalks around the head of the lavender and then winding ribbon around it. That's kind of a traditional way to make that. Now, August is a great month for collecting seeds to plant next year as well. And if you are going to collect seeds, either for planting them next year or for use in spell work, or indeed if you're going to collect herbs to dry, that's best done on a warm, dry day after the dew has evaporated. If they're damp, then they're more likely to go mouldy or go off. And then store them in brown paper bags or envelopes clearly labelled. I collected some dried poppy heads earlier this week, and with poppies you can tell if the seeds are ready for collecting by shaking the dry head to see if it rattles. It's a great time for foraging. I live in a London suburb and there are loads of overgrown verges beside the pavements that where I go to look for wild herbs. Obviously, don't go picking things from parks or other people's gardens or fields without permission. Blackberries are probably the most frequently foraged fruit in England, and they're getting ripe in my area now. According to Manx folklore, the first blackberries of the season should be left for the fairies. If you ignore this advice, the saying is that the others you pick will be full of grubs. Folklore also says you shouldn't pick blackberries after St Michaelmas Day, which is September the 29th. Now, according to Christian mythology, that's because it's supposed to be the anniversary of when Lucifer was chucked out of heaven, and apparently he landed in blackberry bushes, and he likes to mark the occasion by peeing over everyone's blackberry bushes. Now, whatever the truth might be behind those two tales, the sweetest, juiciest blackberries are often found from mid-August to early September. There are other things apart from grain and fruit and veg that you can celebrate at harvest time. You can also celebrate your achievements. That might be exam results, something in your work, a lifestyle goal, a creative project, or simply surviving a tough year. And a lot of us have had a pretty tough year. So just the fact that you're still here, you're still carrying on, that is something to celebrate. You could create an altar using things that are golden or yellow coloured. You could put a yellow coloured cloth down. You can put yellow flowers on it. You can put yellow candles on it. And then you place on the altar items that reflect anything you feel proud of or are grateful for. Light a candle and say words of thanks. And then you could enjoy a feast of freshly baked bread or cakes with ale or fruit juice. Save a little, and afterwards put out the crumbs and a libation as an offering to the spirits of the land. Now on to cats. August is a month in which cats are celebrated. International Cat Day takes place on August 8th every year. It's a day to raise awareness for our feline companions and learn about ways to help and protect them. Events are organised by International Cat Care. There are some online events that you can sign up for on their website, and that's a not-for-profit organisation that aims to improve the welfare of domestic pets. I nearly said pests because let's face it, cats can be pests as well, but yeah, pets. Now this year the emphasis is on spending quality time with your cat and finding ways to keep them and you happy. Personally, I've always enjoyed meditating with my cat. I don't mean training my cat to meditate, they don't really need that training. The way you can do it is to sit with your cat mindfully. And if your cat likes being stroked, then do that. But really just be in the moment and let your other worries and concerns slip away. Just be there and be aware of the moment and be aware of spending quality time with your cat, really. Now, if you read my blog this morning, you'll see I drew a card from the Cat Wisdom Oracle, and it was Curiosity. I've got the card here. You'll see the picture from the Cat Wisdom Oracle. Now, the guidebook that comes with the set points out that cats are known for their curiosity. It says, take a leaf out of the cat's book and explore the world around you. Your life will be more satisfying and rewarding. As I've mentioned already, August is a good month for going out and exploring, and many of us have holidays planned. And I think what this card suggests is that visiting places you've never been before, trying out new things, or finding out more about what you see is a good thing to do. Be curious. Of course, there's always a saying that curiosity killed the cat, which is a reminder to also take sensible precautions. Like if you're going for a walk, make sure you're wearing sensible shoes. Don't forget your rainwear. And obviously this year, make sure you've got your mask with you. Curiosity can, of course, sometimes lead to cats getting lost. And missing Moggy is really worrying for us humans who care for them. Obviously, you can do all the practical things. If your cat does go missing, you can do all the practical things like searching your house from top to bottom. The number of times I've thought my cat is lost outdoors and actually it's just got shut in the spare bedroom. So search your house from top to bottom. And obviously outside you can put out posters, you can talk to the neighbours, mentioning it on social media groups. A lot of social media groups are very happy for people to post things about that, and maybe someone else would have seen it in their shed. Talk to nearby vets and to pet charities. Stray cats, they might know about stray cats. Another trick is to put your cat's litter tray outside the house, as their incredibly good sense of smell can then help them find their way home. It is a trick that can work. But as a witch, you can also use divination. If you've got a dowsing pendulum, then you could use that to dowse. Got cats in the brain. To dowse over the map to try and find out where your pet is. Now, you could use an old-fashioned paper map, or you could get Google Maps open to your local area on your phone or on a tablet, and dowse over that. Now, another thing you can do is to scry. If you're into scrying, you can fill your cat's drinking water bowl with fresh water, light a candle of the colour of your cat and put that next to it so that the light just slightly shines on it. Half close your eyes and stare into the water and ask to be shown where your cat is, or what you might do to find your cat. And you might find that some clues come to you, or you might see something that suggests perhaps a shed that your cat might have got locked in, or something like that. I know once my next door neighbours went on holiday and my cat had crept into their house before they went away, and I managed to find out that another neighbour had the key to their house and was checking on post and things, and we managed to get my cat out again. So you might get some clue by scrying as to how you can find your cat. Now, there's another cat day in August as well. So, August really has a lot of cat days. Black Cat Appreciation Day is on August 17th. It is different in the UK though, as here National Black Cat Day is held each year on the 27th of October. And that was started by Cats Protection back in 2011 with the aim of promoting the beauty of black cats. As a witch, I don't really think you can celebrate black cats too often, so why not do so in August and October? Some superstitions say that black cats are unlucky, which is why I think so many cat charities have special days to show that they're really not. They are absolutely lovely. But in some folklore, black cats are considered symbols of good luck, and I prefer to think of them like that. And I think most witches do as well. In my book, Poppets and Magical Dolls, I've described how to make a lucky black cat charm, like that. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read how to make it from my book. Very simple to make. For luck and success, lucky black cat charm. As a talisman to bring good luck, make a black cat-shaped poppet from felt, small enough to keep in a pocket or bag. Put the cat inside the cat, put a mixture of herbs and items associated with luck, such as an acorn, dried heather, clover, or mint. Add a few strands of your own hair and a few strands of fur fallen from your own cat if you have one. Put a yellow or golden ribbon around the neck of the cat, and to it hang a small metal charm associated with luck, such as a four-leaf clover. Enchant the cat on a Sunday when the moon is full or nearly full. Say, I name you my good luck cat and charge you to attract the best that can happen in all things. Now, you can obviously do variations on that. You might notice that mine actually has a green ribbon and it's also got some basil inside it, because I wanted my lucky black cat to have, as well as things associated with good luck, a little bit of prosperity magic as well. So now, Friday the 13th. A good luck charm might be something you'd want to make this week, because next week there is a Friday the 13th, an unlucky day according to superstitions. Now, I know many witches don't consider Fridays or the number 13 to be bad luck. In fact, it might very well be more a Christian superstition than a pagan one. And possibly it came about because Christ was executed on a Friday. You find a lot of people online saying that it's about the Templars being arrested on a Friday, but actually it's probably got more to do with the crucifixion than with the Templars, despite what it says in Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code. I think that's where the idea really got popularised, that it was to do with the Templars. The number 13 was unlucky at the Last Supper, which according to the Bible, Christ shared with 12 disciples before being betrayed. Another possible origin for the superstition predates that, though. In Norse mythology, 12 gods held a banquet in Valhalla to which Loki, god of mischief, turned up uninvited and played a trick that led to the death of Balder. Now, the first written mention of Friday the 13th being unlucky actually only dates back to the 19th century. Statistically, Friday the 13th is often one of the safest days to go about your business or travel, and that's according to studies by insurance companies. Personally, I have had a few mishaps on Friday the 13th, but personal anecdotes aren't proof of much. And perhaps generally the superstition makes everyone just a little bit more careful. But anyway, it can't hurt to have a good luck charm like the Blacky Cat on you anyway. Now on to holiday magic. As I said before, this month is peak holiday time, and in England it ends with the August bank holiday. And I like to think of this as the last big celebration of summer. I know some pagans consider autumn as starting after Lammas, and there is actually some historic precedent for that. There are some history books say autumn starts after Lammas. But personally, I prefer to go with what the Meteorological Office says, and that is that summer is June, July, and August. Then autumn starts on the 1st of September. I'm going to read a spell that I wrote in the Moon Books community book, Everyday Magic, for keeping holiday memories. Holiday memories. On the last day of a holiday, find a small pebble as a memento. A stone with a hole is particularly magical. Stand in a beautiful spot with your pebble and say, "Spirits of the land, sea and sky, spirits of place, I thank you for my holiday and ask your blessings. Let this pebble remind me of this happy time and place." Focus your happy memories into the pebble. Thank the spirits and keep the pebble with you. Hold it if you ever need happy thoughts. Now, in earlier Magic for the Month talks, I finished with a guided visualization, but I'm not going to do that this time. What I'm going to be doing is later in the month recording a guided visualization separately and sharing that separately. I've actually decided that rather than doing one long kind of 45 to an hour, 45 minute to an hour talk on Magic for the Month, it's probably best to split things up. So this is going to be about half an hour, and then I'll do another sort of 15-minute guided visualization, which I'll do as a separate video later. I've also been blogging at the Moon Books blog. You can find that by Googling the Moon Books blog to find it. And last week that included a guided visualization for the harvest time called The Wise Woman's Cottage. And that's actually one of my personal favourites, and it comes from my book Pagan Portals Guided Visualizations. But if you don't have the book or don't want to buy the book, then you can find the visualization for free on the Moon Books blog. Right, now, okay, I'm just looking to see, right, I'm just looking to see if there's been any comments, because I'm going to answer questions now before the end of the talk. And I'm just seeing, hello Becky, hello Maria, hello, right, okay. Am I wearing poppies on my blouse? Yes, I am. I am wearing poppies. Yes, I'm wearing poppies on my blouse. And yes, love cats. I love cats too. I've got two of them. Neither of them are fully black. One of them is black and white, and one of them is mostly white with bits of ginger and black. I'm going to see if there are any more questions. I'm very happy to answer any questions. But in the meantime, I'm going to just give another shameless plug for my books. So that's Poppets and Magical Dolls. That's guided visualizations. That's scrying. And that's candle magic. And you can find my blog at www.badwitch.co.uk, and then you can find the Moon Books blog, where I'm also blogging. As I said, if you Google Moon Books blog, it should come up, and or you can go to it on the John Hunt Publishing website. There's a link to blogs and then Moon Books. Oh, right, yes, Becky, you made lavender wands last year. Yeah, yes, they're quite nice to make, and you can add other herbs to them as well. So yeah, really good. Okay, right, we're coming up to about 30 minutes. Well, thanks to everyone. What the scrying one? Oh, the scrying book. Yes, the scrying book. That you can pre-order that already, and that'll be out in a few months' time. Yeah, but yeah, I'm quite proud of the scrying one. I think it's a good one. So hope you enjoy it too. So anyway, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone, because we're coming up to about the half hour. But thank you very much for everyone who watched. If you, I'm going to be putting the recording on my YouTube channel, and you can find my other recordings on my YouTube channel. You can find that by searching for Lucya Starza. And this video will stay up on Facebook as well, and I'll probably share something about it on my blog. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely August. I hope you have great holidays. So bye bye.